game.
Nightmare, the game hosted by a video.
I am the gatekeeper!
To win, you must stop it.
Roll the dice!
The video board game Nightmare. The gatekeeper talks to you,
Whose turn is it next?
and you must answer him.
Answer me!
Yes, my gatekeeper.
Go for it!
Nightmare, a race against time for 3 to 6 very game players.
Let's party!
Hello. Welcome to Just Another Horror Podcast. I'm John.
I'm Ben.
Cobra.
Are you depressed, Ben?
That last movie.
What about this one?
This movie depresses me.
Cobra's depressed too. Everybody's depressed. Listener request week, month, year.
Continues us to
whatever.
want to slit our throats.
Yeah.
Seems like my depression always hits during listener requests. I'm not sure
I
why.
feel like I'm sick.
All right. This one, this comes from Amanda, and Amanda says, "Dear horror so-and-sos."
So-and-so.
This comes from a man. That was like...
This comes from a man.
Do we know Amanda? Does
Duh.
anybody know Amanda?
I know her.
Okay.
So she's from Mankato, that place that you were talking about that one day.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So.
I was only there for 2 days, but it was a fun little town.
Does it have the biggest bullet line in Minnesota?
I don't think so.
No. That's a weird also.
There's only so many places that can be.
The biggest bullet line in Minnesota.
It has a very cool outdoor concert venue. Better stand amphitheater.
Didn't Wes or White Gold
Sing that on
Sing
one
that?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Dear horror so-and-sos, I recently watched Beyond the Gates and wondered what you guys' take on it would be. I had high hopes as there is a lot of 80s style synth music and looked
Yes,
pretty low
That's
budget,
part of the movie.
which leaves plenty of
But
room
it's
to be super creative because you can't just throw money at it to make it look cool. Well, let me know what you guys think. Thanks. Well, the synth was good.
I like
like
the synth. Right from the opening scene, I was like, ooh.
I'm only rating. I don't want to get
I
ahead
just
of myself.
disagree a little bit. I think
You didn't like the synth?
Oh, man, the score was...
it was out of place. I don't know, like the scenes deserve the synth sound in some of them, and the one synth was kind of annoying. It was like
Just a take on Psycho again. Like
There was a
every score.
lot of takes on... I was getting bombarded with, like, oh, this is from that movie, or that's like this movie. Like, I just feel like they were just throwing...
This movie, when I
Throwing
started
everything.
watching it, the first like 5 minutes in the title sequence, I was like, this might be awesome.
And you thought that because you saw Barbara Crampton's name.
Barbara Crampton, yeah, her name popped up. She produced it. She's
Isn't
one of
that
the
your
main
secret
people in it.
crush?
Secret.
It's no secret.
No, everyone knows that. Even my wife knows that. So, yeah, I was happy to stare at her, but she was apparently just happy to stare through this whole movie. It starts out with this family opening a video store, and then we take a tour through a VCR.
So-
and then,
Yeah, let's talk about this.
The opening shot with, you see the two boys, the two young kids, and the parents, and they're opening this store, and it's like they get out of the car, and it's this moment where it's like, yeah, our business, our future,
We made
whatever.
it.
And then the
And
dad
then
just
the dad
looks...
has this weird look at the end of it, and I'm like, what did he...
He's so pissed. I think he murdered somebody to get that shop or something.
I don't know, like, he was all smiles, and then he just immediately...
This is where I can do my raping.
But I couldn't figure out, and throughout the whole movie, like, are
Why?
you supposed to
What?
believe this, like, that he was cursed, or...
What? He just happened to play this game one night and got wrapped up in it?
Did he know? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Ben's right that he's like, I can play this game here. I have this game and
Is
now I
that-
have a place to play it.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, they don't tell you if they moved into this town and opened up this store.
They don't
because
tell you
there's
much,
a
They don't, exactly.
there's
The
another
backstory.
store we'll find out in this town that sells, like, I guess macabre antiques.
Talk about
Oh my
that
God.
guy acting. It's the best part of this movie, I think.
So, and then it's I get what year was that? 1990 something is when they're opening the store, the dad, and then I guess it's present day, and then we get the two brothers coming back into town.
One is John and one is
Frodo Baggins.
Right?
Yeah.
Gordon.
Gordon is our main character.
Gordon
God,
is the worst.
damn it.
We haven't seen a
Ah,
douche
you had
like
this
this in a
eventually.
long time.
It's
This is one of our worst main characters.
It starts early. When your girlfriend wants to have ambient sex with you, you do it.
I almost had to look that up. I was like, ambient sex, what is that? And then it's like, oh, she took an ambient.
Well, I took one ambient one time in my life, and it was...
Did you go sleepwalking?
No, I was watching the Olympics, and it was the Summer Olympics, and everyone, like, half an hour into it before I fell asleep, like, I was trying to watch the TV, and there were so many lanes and so many extra people, I was like, I'm going to bed. It was hurting my eyes.
I've heard Joe Rogan talk about one of his friends that used to take Ambien, and he would find him out in the hotel hallways all the time, asleep, just walking around, or going down the stairs or something, so...
Drugs, kid. Just say no.
This thing's powerful.
Mm-hmm. But he and his brother John are going to clean this place out.
Because
Dad
disappeared.
Yeah.
They make everything so awkward.
They don't even mention the mom until you get like one line at almost the end of the movie where they reference maybe something happened to her. But the whole movie, I'm like, do we not care about mom?
Yeah, where is she?
Where the hell is mom?
Dad's disappeared before. He does this all the time. And then they even go so far as to have each of the brothers hate the other two friends of the brothers.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
everything is...
Yeah.
The one guy is a dick, yeah, but everything is just an awkward conversation, an awkward get-together. And then, like,
they can't spend 5 minutes in a room together.
No, and then, like, the girlfriend that shows up, Margot, she's like... She shouldn't be with Gordon.
You text me,
Her characteristic and traits that we learn looks like she is a partier and fun.
And
like,
more... has more in common with the other brothers.
That's
brother?
what you text me. You were like, I was hoping that they would, like, get together or something.
have sex so we could see
Yeah.
her boobs. Because this guy doesn't have ambient sex with her.
Mm-hmm.
Another movie where I owned something, the East German green jacket that the one brother was wearing. Totally had one of those in high school.
This guy, the guy who played John was in John Dies at the End. I think he was John. Maybe this is the only character he wants to play.
The old end of the day, like, wrap up of you get there early to clean something, and the store looks like it hasn't been touched.
No, they've just been sitting around watching movies all day.
And then
which
the
is
other
all I would
trope,
do.
the old cop shows up, and it's the old friend that never got out of town, but is now the town cop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a paycheck. Derek.
Such
the
a
cop
trope.
friend. And Derek's friends with Gordon, but doesn't like John very much.
Wait, where was this trope at before?
I've seen it in Grosse Pointe Blank. I've seen it in...
It was the one that you kept giving a good score to because it had 10 kills.
Darkness Falls.
Darkness Falls.
Like, it's a trope. I'm telling... Now start watching for it. You'll see it all the time in movies.
Take it back.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to back.
Darkness Falls, you
again.
are so much better than everyone gives you credit for. I see you, bitch!
So the girlfriend of... What was his name?
Gordon and Margot.
Elijah Wood. Shows
He kind
up.
of looked like Daniel Radcliffe a little bit, too.
A little
Just a
bit.
fatter face.
Fat face, yeah. He was...
But, so his girlfriend shows up, and, like, she says his driver couldn't find the place. Now, this store is on a street in a town. It's not like it's out in the middle of nowhere.
This is a town similar to Haddonfield, I would imagine.
Like,
one road.
I just feel like
leads
there's it shouldn't have been that difficult to find the Blockbuster in this small town.
You wouldn't think so.
Okay, so we go home, we meet Margot. These two obviously shouldn't be dating. We also get a hint that
Gordon
was
might
a piece of shit
He might
at
have
some point.
beat her while she was drinking, or he was drinking one
Yeah.
night.
I mean, when they go out to eat dinner,
Mhm.
is that when she talks about her
Wrist. yeah.
wrist?
Yeah, my wrist hurts.
And she gives some line like, "Oh, I had nightmares after I hurt my wrist."
I
I'm
fell
like,
down.
"What the fuck?"
That's what I said. I got nightmares stemming from my wrist injury. I was like, how did those two things correlate?
Yeah, and then that's when I was like, "Oh, he hit her."
Yeah.
yeah. But
Because she goes, I fell.
it was
I fell.
it was a stretch to get there, but it was just really funny. It was like nightmares. You had like PTSD from hurting your wrist.
She didn't fall. Gordon beat her.
Yeah.
This ambient thing and her walking around in her sleep leads to nothing. This is completely pointless.
Except
So is she on it? Ambien because of her
Yes.
PTSD from
Yes.
her wrist
from
That's
injury?
what's
him
going
beating
on.
her? Yeah, while he was drunk.
Because she can't sleep at night or something because of...
She's like, I had enough trouble sleeping beside him when he wasn't beating me. Now I'm like,
Now I just like to be passed out when he beats
Yeah.
me.
Jesus.
When I wake up, I see the damage he did, but I don't feel it.
Oh God.
Gordon is terrible.
He
Gordon
just
is
another-
such a piece of shit.
The Just Another Horror podcast does not condone domestic violence in any
No, we do
way,
not.
shape, or form.
We just laugh when it's carelessly thrown around in a movie for no reason.
No, and by the way, all three of us would get our asses kicked by
Oh.
our wives or girlfriends.
Absolutely. They go out to dinner, we meet the shit friend. Who's a dickhead,
Hank, who
and-
definitely is a
just
sexual
looks-
predator and meth head.
Yeah, and you get this random, like, hot bartender. That also goes nowhere. Like,
It's all just to find out that Gordon doesn't drink anymore. That's the whole
Well,
point of it.
and we also
And
found
also,
out that
they-
Gordon wasn't there for John after the dad disappeared 7 months ago, but Hank was there. Hey, what did you guys do meth together? Oh, you were looking for your dad? Hank was here for me when you weren't, Gordon.
yeah, there's this.
It's a little whiny, John. You're a grown up too. You can handle it, even though you don't have a job. Which I
He does odd jobs. He does odd jobs.
Amazing.
He didn't say it was between jobs like you normally hear, but
Just odd jobs.
yeah. So we find out after he goes and has dinner with Gordon and Margot after they find the game. First they find the game. In the
No,
office.
that's the next morning.
Yeah.
And we get this scene where Gordon pulls the key out like it's this, like, oh yeah, the back room. And I was like, they've never been allowed in the back room. I was
Ever.
like, Dad's got porn. Like, that's the porn section of this store.
There'd be chains and whips and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, when they go back there, they find that game and the tape, and they suggest it might be porn, and they watch it anyway. They think it might be their dad having sex with their mom, and they're like, oh, well.
Let's pump it in, yeah. Could be the first
Well,
one.
we get the line like, no, that's worse. Let's watch it anyways.
Yeah.
Hit play.
That's Barbara Crampton.
Oh, it sends out the strobe light,
Mm-hmm.
makes them sick, and then the next scene they're like, well, it's 5 o'clock, and the other one's like, really? And it's like, was that our time slip while they were watching this movie in the back?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
this was before the dinner.
Yeah, they're about to go.
Or
to
is this
dinner.
just a bad edit, and it's just a bad, like, progression of the movie?
Right here, the movie
think it was
should
in
end
the movie.
because they play this tape, it flashes at them. They're like, oh, fuck this. They turn it off. They take the game home with them?
True. I didn't even think of that.
Why would it end, though?
Because they should be like, oh, fuck this game.
Yeah,
But
they almost
they
gave them
started
seizures.
it.
No.
That's
Yeah, but-
what kept the game going.
I
Because,
thought it was because they opened the game.
No, they
board.
took it home.
yeah,
and
but
they
then
didn't-
they're like, we need to. That lady said we need to have the blue guy go because that's what she said. Or,
This game makes no sense.
Yeah, but it didn't...
Stupid.
When they get it home and they start watching it, that's when you get... what's her face saying to
Talking.
save your dad, and they're like, "Whoa, what
Did you hear
What
that?
did she just say?" The first time in the movie store, she's giving no indication of why they should finish this game.
No, she's just like, we're all going to play it. so
Move
you
the
can't-
blue
Red, blue,
character.
red.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm blue, I've been deed, I've been died, 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 I've been deed, I've been died.
I'm with John. There's no reason for
That's
this movie to
blue song.
continue.
Okay.
Blue goes first.
Okay, what?
I'm with you. There's no reason for this movie to continue.
Yeah, they should be like, this game
after-
sucks, and they just leave it
After
there.
almost
You know what
suffering a
happened in
seizure.
Staying Alive? People were still getting murdered when the game was
That's true.
shot, and we had to figure out why.
Oh,
We never did.
Hold on.
October!
We've got issues with people getting murdered in this town because apparently nobody's getting charged with manslaughter.
I want to know
Nobody's
how this
concerned.
game planted a grenade in Derek's head.
Nobody's concerned about a missing cop either.
And how, like, all of a sudden, the game just says that this guy's gonna, like, attack you, and he's just like, where are you guys? He's been friendly the whole movie, but now he's got, like, his shirt off. He's
He
like, where are
has,
you guys
they
at?
call him in because they think that the game is possessing them, so they call a cop.
Well, also the game. That's what after they
He
had discovered
sees
the
it.
game said to save your
Oh,
father.
is he part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Does he part of, like,
He
the
sees
town?
it, and as he's walking out the door, something happens to him.
Oh.
It makes it sound like something changed in him or something.
Oh, God.
They put like a
was
stinger
like,
in the
Oh,
What's this guy? He'll be back later.
Oh my god.
With bad intentions.
yeah. He turns around, he's like, "See you guys later," and he just leaves. They decide this game sucks, and then I think at some point Gordon sees a thing in his room.
At 3:12 or 3:13, he
No,
wakes
it's
up
all-
a
not
few
trope.
times.
Trope.
3
It always
a.m.,
happens at
3 a.m.
3:15 a.m.
That's because that's when Jesus was killed. And
No,
it's
it's the
time.
opposite. Yeah.
He was killed at 3 p.m., so the witching hour is 3 a.m.
Watch Exorcism of Emily Rose. You know that, Ben.
Have you seen that movie?
Have they taken daylight savings and time sense into consideration for any of this?
Well, each
Those are man-made things,
3 a.m. is different.
Because if it happened at 3 p.m. in the Middle East, it didn't happen at 3 p.m. where we're at.
But he does see a silhouette.
Can I get your liberal views off of this show, Ben?
Thank you.
Just asked about time sense and daylight savings, that's all.
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
So this is where they decide, okay, we got to play the game, try to save Dad. Then they go on a scavenger hunt around town.
Where are you at?
After the cop leaves and the cop.
Oh, we're not there yet. We went back to the.
Oh man.
We went back in time.
No. We're back to where he just saw the silhouette.
Oh, I have weird noises in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
TV fuzz shows up.
Elijah Wood hears Dad's voice and then sees shadowed people.
And 36 minutes in, the scariest thing we've seen is TV fuzz noise.
Yeah, they try to set tension with like the music, like the.
Yeah, they're trying to build it, but they're just not. It's not working.
No.
Because our characters.
A lot of
Gordon's
shit ain't
searching
working.
I don't
the house.
care if Gordon dies.
No, he's
so-
he's doing what Daniel Radcliffe did in that Woman in Black movie.
just
He's
looking for room to
searching
room.
this house
Room check.
for God knows what. His dad's ghost, the ghost of the game. I
They,
have no idea.
they believe this. They buy into this so easily, so quickly.
And this is where Derek the cop swings in. Right after this, the next
Okay.
morning they're playing that
Gary,
game.
the cop.
And they see her on the TV. He can't see her, and he's like, "I'm out of here. Fuck you guys."
Yeah.
So
And at that point, I'm like,
Jesus Christ!
They go
to
to
this-
that
the museum store.
oh yeah, and find a dagger.
What kind of town
They
is
steal a
this
dagger.
I don't.
that has a store that's still open that's just called Vintage Store?
It's definitely Haddonfield. It's 100%
And
Haddonfield.
did
I saw Harrisville's got like an antique shop on the corner now. Right?
That's
That's
been
a
open
front.
for a while.
What is that?
it's a front?
When you walk in and there's nothing but lamps, you're like, okay, where's the pot?
No, it's some old guy that he calls himself an antique dealer, but he's like junk dealer.
So it's like Sanford. I
Yeah, kind of. But
you give me that TV, I'll give you this.
does what's his face steal this weird dagger, or did he buy it?
He
No,
steals
he's
it.
definitely stole
Okay.
it.
Which we don't get that because the guy in the shop had the dagger.
He
It just
tells him
cuts to the kid coming outside. He's like,
No,
"Check
he
this
says
out."
he says
No,
something
he
to him.
yeah he said, "Can you look up there for me?" And then as he's behind, he slowly takes.
I was thinking the dagger was
steals
behind
that
the
dagger.
counter.
There were other weapons, I
Okay.
think, behind it.
Because I was
So
like,
is this shop in with the game? Are they like working together?
yeah, that's
That
what I
guy
got.
just says the game keeps showing up. Oh, at the end, that
Yeah, he
crazy
says
guy's
like
it just
I
keeps
think they
showing up
asked
here.
him if anyone's beat it, and he said, "I don't know. The game just keeps showing up."
Yeah.
Like
I think they're the first to beat the game.
so.
Probably the first to continue to play the game after turning it on for 5
So-
years.
After one
I'm
guy is
assuming-
dead after you voodoo dolled him.
So are we supposed to believe that people are playing this game, getting killed by this game, and their relatives are cleaning out their house after the person disappears, and just selling this game back to
The junk shop.
the junk shop?
I assume the game
How does this
is there
game
by
keep
itself.
getting back there?
I don't know. Is Barbara Crampton taking it there?
I imagine a supernatural element
Yeah.
to this. I don't know. They don't explain anything.
What is Barbara Crampton in this?
She's the
The
narrator.
runner of the game. Yeah, have you ever played a game like this? I was going to ask you guys that.
No, but I could see these games existing back in the day.
I think Ian Oman had one. It was called like
When I was
Nightmare or something like
real-
that.
So you had a board game, and then you
Yes.
watched the VHS.
And it
tape.
was like
Okay.
I remember it was like the youngest goes first in this one, and through the movie you had this narrator in a cloak, and he kept like progressively getting older. You know, like they'd make his face like, and he'd get like a nastier voice, but he'd keep calling you like scum-sucking maggots. He's like, yes, your batters to the black hole. And there was like 2 black hole spots on the board. And once he banished you there, you had to stay there for like 3 turns of the board. But you had to listen to everything this fuck said. And it was 1 hour long. The game could get wrapped up earlier if you just happened to do everything perfectly. But most of the time, Because there's cards involved, too.
What
But-
did he keep calling you?
Scum-sucking, he's like, scum-sucking maggots, you banished to the black hole! You know, he's real, like, eccentric old man doing this.
Now they go find the voodoo doll, right?
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
well, they
Simultaneously, Hank is...
He's
Hank's
about to try and-
Hank is unemployed, surprisingly. He's at the bar day drinking. The bartender comes out.
They have a
And I have here, if charm doesn't work, Hank just immediately
Grabs
goes
Grab
for
him by the arm
rapey.
and you rape him.
Because he... So, yeah, we get that there was some history between the bartender and Hank.
Mhm.
And then,
They start ripping out the guts of this voodoo doll.
which rips
Hank's
Hank's
apart.
apart.
So this game buried Hank's voodoo doll.
Why did the game pick Hank?
He's not, because he's a friend?
I guess.
Because he fit the
Well, did
drifter card. There were 4 or
Oh,
5
that's
cards, and each person... I mean, what if you don't have
Hank's
that?
not really a drifter. He
I think
lives
the
in this
drifter
He lives
town.
in the town,
I
yeah.
think Drifter was John. I think.
But that's no, because after
John lives in the
Drifter,
town.
after Hank died, they had a big X over the head
Drifter.
of the Drifter.
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
They
Yeah,
flipped the next
Hank-
card.
That's where the keys are.
Yeah, they're inside. Well, once
Oh.
you
John's getting into this now.
I'm starting
you
to figure
get
it out.
the key, you kill the person who
Okay.
was
I see.
connected with that key, and that's where they got the first key.
Which becomes problematic when we get to the third key.
There
Are you
is
talking
no
about the
third
girl?
key. No, there just is no third
No,
key.
they say in the game, Barbara Crampton says, to get the third key, your girlfriend must give up her soul or something.
And then they get the key.
And all she did was go into the gate downstairs. She didn't give up her
Or is that
soul.
stupid?
She just went inside the gate.
Oh.
Anyway,
What a stupid board game.
Just now figured this
Stupid
out.
move. No, I knew watching this. I was so bored and just like, what the fuck is going on?
okay, so they find out that this guy has died at the bar, and I think one of them has a line that's like, "You can't help that a jealous ex-girlfriend killed her boyfriend," and I'm like, and ripped his guts out
Yeah,
and
his
threw
guts
them
are
all over the
flying.
bar.
With 3 witnesses at
Yeah.
least in the bar.
This is the first time we get to see any blood and gore, and it looks good.
The gore's good in this.
But
We're gonna see a better.
It's just late.
Gore.
The head explosion?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
really
pretty
good.
great.
It was kind of funny. She was overacting. She was like, it looked like Temple of Doom.
Yeah, because he's like looking at his heart and he's like, "Oh man,
That's not good, is it?
put that back."
You have the dream within the
girl
dream
hot?
too.
Sorta.
She's
Would you have liked to have seen her naked? Okay, so did this girl like this movie, Amanda?
She didn't say. All she
Why are
says
these
is
people not telling us?
she
Or did she
said
say it was?
she said I had high hopes. So
That
maybe
sounds
they
like she.
crashed and burned. I don't know.
They probably should have, because
The night scenes are just confusing.
there's no like rules or rhyme to anything that's going on in this game, really, except you go to get the keys to get your dad back.
Yeah, but even that. Like,
And then, by the way, ha ha ha, it was just his soul because he's dead.
they put they
What the fuck?
Yeah, but they spend like 20 seconds to 30-second shot just moving this key, and then it moves back, and then they move the key,
Yeah.
and,
And
it
then
moves
Gordon, after the one, he's like dramatically slams it down like he's a champion of douchebags.
Another sick burn by Cobra.
Yeah, that wasn't even anybody but the stupid main actor of this movie. He was terrible.
back. Are we to? Are we at the? What card is the cop?
After he has that dream, he throws the board game away,
Yep.
and then next morning it comes back.
Oh, it's a Ouija board.
Yeah, any sort of horror film knowledge should tell you don't throw or burn a Ouija board or any demonic game.
So that's when they see that the hitcher or the drifter is dead, and they flip over all the cards, so they got to try to figure out what's going to
So who
happen.
was the cop? What
The
card
cop was
he?
the nobleman. He was carrying the gun, and but Barbara Crampton explained to him that the nobleman is going to go off the rails or something and turn on them. So they knew that he was coming. That's why they saw him coming and they got behind the boxes because they knew he was going to turn on them. Actually, I have. If you want to see my plug, it's NWA. Fuck the police after his head gets exploded.
Yeah, they find a grenade with his head shaped as his head and pull it.
Wow.
Did that just show up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like.
From the,
They had to find the first one. It was buried in their
His
backyard.
hand,
Oh,
just,
yeah,
his hand just came across it when he fell backwards, and
it was just randomly thrown in the backyard garden.
Potted soil, yeah.
Like, All right.
They pull the pin and a grenade goes off. It does look good.
That's good. Yeah.
And that's
Fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
That looks really good. Believe it or not, this is when the movie just starts going really off the rails. And
Now?
that's what I said, believe it or not.
what happened? Oh God! It's like
It picks up in pace.
the
That's for
second
sure.
key's in place.
I heard there's a weird demon in the basement that night.
Right.
There's a
And
creature.
something reaches
arm.
through the gate and grabs the guy. He stabs it, and John's like, "Don't go near there again," and they all go back to bed.
And they pan to a clock, and it's 3:13 again.
There's this weird, like, up, go to bed. And I was like, could you sleep after...
That? No.
There's somebody in your basement, and they're like... Ugh.
You're,
So then a demon crawls out from under the bed, right?
Random.
And they just start hitting it with a knife.
I
killing
have
it.
Sayonara MF.
They do a tag team kill, and that's when you see the brothers finally coming together.
Yeah, I have here it off to bed for the night. What the fuck? Who says Sayonara MFer? Sayonara motherfucker. One of the
If you're
brothers.
reaching for a one-liner in like a real-life situation, is that the best you got?
Yeah. I can't even say the word sayonara. I would just say motherfucker.
I don't know what I'd say.
Just been revoked.
Diplomatic immunity. No way Danny Glover makes that shot with that
No.
38 revolver.
You just hear it go ping behind the guy. But he says it anyways, he's like, just been revoked.
God bless, I love Lethal Weapon
Remember
movies.
how, like, just pathetic he was in one of the Saw movies?
Oh my
He was just
god.
like a decrepit old
He kept like
cop.
stumbling around and shit.
He got his neck.
I never
slit
got past
and he-
the, I saw the first
man.
two Saw movies and I never saw anything after
I
that.
made
There's
it to
no need
4.
there.
Do you know Carrie Elways is actually the head of all of it? They turn it back around on him leading everything in the last one.
So he cut his leg off. He played the long con.
It was,
Cut his
apparently.
own ankle off.
Because even in the second one, they see his body laying there with a leg missing, like a, and you're like, what the fuck? And then Robin's like, you know, he ran the whole
How?
thing. I was like, I checked out at 4, and that makes no fucking sense.
The guy who plays
What?
Jigsaw dies and comes back to life. Carrie Ewells keeps dying and coming back to life.
Wow, that's commitment to a game. I'm gonna saw my own leg off.
They should have stopped after the first Saw, and that would have been just
Fine.
a
Yeah, the
standalone,
first
a really
one, that
good
would've been-
standalone movie.
Danny Glover not so great, but it was a good movie. So
He's too old for this shit.
He should have to say that in every movie.
Margot has gone into the gates.
She possessed yet?
Did she
Yeah.
ambient walk into the gates?
I think so.
Oh god.
And
Did the KY fall from her vagina yet?
What? Nuh-uh.
wait, what?
What?
Oh, I have. Wait.
What the-
I have. The key falls from her vagina.
The key.
Oh.
Okay.
Not. Because there was
I was
no.
like,
I was like,
pretty
it looks like KY falls from her vagina. I'm like, what? That would have
It's like
made this
I'm
movie better.
Pretty sure I did not see that happen.
No, that's the key. The third key that falls.
Wow.
Because it just came out of nowhere.
Okay, so they go in there, and there's like all these people that they've killed are now
Yeah,
zombies.
Hank is there, and Derek the cop's there.
I have some.
Even his dad's there.
I have,
Kill him. What's he doing? Is he bad or good?
Is it really him?
Yeah, is he like? Did he run this game on his family?
No, I think he was possessed because when he is dying, he says "thank you" and then dies.
Okay.
Here's
Yeah.
my next question. If he started playing the game, wouldn't he have the same scenario that his family has? Like, how did he just become trapped in the game? He doesn't get to play the game
So
like
you're-
everybody else?
You're asking what drifter got killed when the
Yeah,
dad was
they
playing
got
the game?
him.
That's a good question.
Good. Yeah, what the fuck?
He just became possessed. He didn't get to play the game and
Yeah.
try to...
I'm thinking that's what happens when you see the flash on the TV and you
And you
go,
watch
I'm
it
not
too
playing
long?
this fucking game, and you put it
You
away.
get possessed.
You get
They come and
possessed.
get you.
Yeah.
Well, would have been nice for one line to tell us
Anything.
that.
Any little bit of explanation for why.
So that's it. They kill their dad and get the key off of him.
And then
Well,
they wake up in the living room, a la some bad frat party where everyone's just passed out.
Mm.
Oh, God. Like nothing happened.
I think
With
it was
the-
all Margot's ambient dream. There you
Yeah,
go.
and then, well, Gordon and the dad, he had to rip his heart out or something. And then,
Yeah.
like, John the next day was like, we still gotta find Dad. And Gordon's like, his soul's where it needs to be, but he's not coming back in human form. Something like that. It
I
was
have
just too much.
Gordon saying, "I thought I'd lost you," and Margot saying, "You're stuck with me." I was like, "Ouch."
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She's
But-
afraid that he's gonna kill her if she leaves. Because
You're stuck with me?
One final trope. The very end of the movie. You get
Somebody
that-
else gets the game.
No, you get that last. They apparently finished cleaning out the house and putting the house up for sale or something, and you get the last one final trash bag
Oh,
in the garbage.
in the garbage can. And it's like, that's not how cleaning works. Or, what happened to Dead Hank and Dead Cop? Are they just dead?
No, they come back.
They're in that
real.
garbage bag that he just put by the road.
They didn't come back.
I think Margot did. Oh, she was only possessed though.
That is a good question. Like, when these two people die, do they just leave their bodies
I was like,
laying
there's
in
no
the middle of the
manslaughter
street?
charges.
or-
The cops aren't looking for a dead cop. Like,
Yeah, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna be like in the morgue when the game's over and then come back to life but die anyways because they can't get out of the coffin they're in? Because they died in real life, right? We get the guy saying
Yeah.
the girlfriend just ripped her ex-girlfriend just ripped his body apart or whatever.
Just like Stay Alive, man. You die in the game, you die for real.
die for real.
I was getting. Again, there were so many. I think they were pulling from 100 different movies and trying to put
Did you
pieces
see
in.
that we didn't even, besides the very beginning, talk about the synth because there were so many other bad things going on through the movie that
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, this is like if Jumanji was demonic, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, they're pulling from Jumanji.
It's so bad. That's what all the reviews I read online were like, this is supposed to be Jumanji for adults, and it falls so short. The acting's, like, everything. I didn't see, like, one good review about it.
You know what, though? I'll give them credit that they didn't just try to... enough bad things happened in this movie, making it... But they didn't try to
Is there
overkill
a
the jump
chance-
scares. Like, there weren't that many jump scares.
That's what I was
in
going
it,
to
which-
ask. Is there a chance that there was any scene in this movie
that scared
at
you?
all that scared anyone?
Or made you jump?
No.
Anyone.
The only thing even close to that is one time Gordon was house searching, and all of a sudden, Ambien sleepwalker Margot fainted in his arms. Now, it didn't, like, scare you, but you were like, oh, what? No.
It makes that loud
Like,
noise.
why?
In fact, every time like a zombie shows up, there's a loud
a stinger
noise.
noise.
No, there's nothing scary about it.
I would say that the only time they even went for like a jump scare was when he's like wakes up in the middle of the night and he happens to look over the doorway and there's like a shadow
Yeah.
person or something, but then he ruins it by basically screaming.
And what is that shadow figure? It has nothing to do with the game that we know of. It's no character that we see in the game.
I took it as whatever was possessing the dad or what, like it's
Is it Barbara Crampton running the game?
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, and the dad's dead anyway, so they killed him, but his soul was saved. Is that what it does? It steals your soul and then your body?
Did
What the fuck?
Did either of you like look up the director or the writers just to see if they'd done it? No, I didn't get a chance to either, but I just wondered if this was.
I know
a
I
one and
won't be
done.
watching anything else they do.
Well, okay, we'll start with you then, Cobra. What'd you give this?
I gave this the same as Replicator, a 3.
Jeez.
Really? What?
I would
for
rather
the
watch
first,
this than Replicate.
I will never watch this
Replicator.
again.
Well, I'm not going to watch either again, but I'd rather watch this
and
than
that's why they get the
Replicator.
same rating as a 3. They entertain me about the same. I was so bored with Beyond the Gates. It's a 3. The main character's terrible. The acting is terrible. The plot is terrible. Nothing makes sense in this movie. A video game. We already watched. You didn't get to watch Stay Alive, but it was terrible too.
Let's stay alive.
It's a video game that.
But at least it had
kills people when
Frankie
you play
Muniz in it.
Has a character named October that they scream about.
That's the
for
first
like an
time
hour.
anyone's ever said that line. At least it has Frankie Muniz.
Frankie Muniz would have been welcomed in this movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of really.
I wish the real
really
Elijah
bad
Wood would have been
characters
in this movie.
And they needed something. And you have to give a little... You got to do something shocking or something gory in the first 15 minutes to introduce us to things. They don't do that. They show us that this family owns this store, and then we just get right into the brothers
it
bitching at each
starts out
other about not
ominous.
knowing it. And then for 46 minutes, we don't get anything until Hank finally, we get the voodoo doll and Hank gets killed.
Yeah.
just a little slow for me. And no, Amanda, this movie is not very good.
All right, you want me to go next?
Well, did you read? How'd you watch it? Cobra.
How did I watch it? On Netflix.
Oh, okay, so you have stream. Did you read the synopsis before?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wondered if, like, you read the synopsis and thought, yes, doesn't sound that bad, and then
Robin did.
because that's what.
And then we never, we were gonna Netflix it and watch it, but we never got around to it because we had a whole bunch of other movies coming
Oh,
in.
so she had.
But then he's like, some girl requested it, so we're
Okay.
like, we'll watch it, and then...
I mean, it's on Netflix, so we, sometimes want to do those so other people can watch them if they're good. But this one, I'm not going to
There's
recommend
not much
anybody
good on
watch.
Netflix,
Yeah,
but,
No, there's not.
I mean, that's-
a lot of bad movies.
that's why Netflix is like. That's the only reason this movie is being viewed is because there's a platform. Netflix is just buying up really anything just to fill space.
this is like the fucking video nasties. If Netflix didn't exist, most of these movies nobody would ever see.
Speaking of that, the one brother John references the video
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Which one was he? I
I can't
remember
remember
what
what he
movie it
said.
was.
I believe he was making shit up. Because I was like, what
It
movie
sounded-
is that?
it
I
sounded
know like
bad.
almost all of them, and that one didn't sound familiar. Okay, I gave this a 4.5, and I'll explain my score. I already told both you guys why this is.
I love that you have to say the score and then like, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm explaining.
Barbara Crampton's a 3.
Oh yeah, he linked me yesterday. Like why?
But she didn't do anything but look.
I like
But
it.
it's still Barbara
She's
Crampton.
drilling holes right into my dick, so with her eyes. So there's 3 points right there. A point for the gore. I thought the gore was point worth of.
You
Score.
tell us where
a
a lot-
point worth of
A
score.
point worth of score. I'd
tell
love to
me-
get your take on that live. What's that gore worth?
You can tell they put a little extra money into the gore to
Yeah,
make it
That's
look,
where it all went.
look as good as
Because
it.
the
and
acting
then
is so...
I'll give it a half point for the synth because it was there. It started out ominous. It gave the movie to start with an ominous tone, and I'm like, I like where this could go, and then it just never delivered. Everything else, I'm going to give zeros to the acting, the plot. Nothing made sense. Nothing was good about it. I didn't care about the characters at all. I didn't like the characters. I like John, but that's probably because he's named John. So
No, he wasn't a douchebag.
Ah,
He
yeah.
just didn't have a job.
that's it. He didn't have a place to live or a job. We forgot to mention he decides
also-
he's going to live with his brother. Halfway through
But doesn't
movie.
isn't that the dad's house?
I think so.
Well, they're there to clean up. I think. he was
Yeah, and then they're
moving
like
back.
all moving in.
I think he was leaving with the brother and the.
Oh, he was leaving?
Yeah, I think he was
Oh,
leaving town
I didn't know.
because really his life had nothing going on in that town.
Right. So, yeah, sorry, Mandy, but if you like this, I didn't. It was 4.5. Go ahead, Ben.
All right. Like John, I really like the score. I thought it really sounded 80s. It really just pulled me in. The gore was pretty good. I mean, there was little of it, but what you did see was pretty good, and the exploding head was as good as anything
Okay.
Cronenberg could have done.
You know how both Veronica and, what's another one? Vampires, neither one had a scene in it that you could really point to and say that belongs in that movie? The exploding head in this would be one that you could point to. Like, you could actually say the exploding head from Beyond the Gates.
Okay, sure.
But that's what was lacking in the other two that I was talking about. Like, Vampires didn't have that. Veronica definitely didn't have that. So,
See, I would say that the hotel scene could be that, but since it's so early in the movie and we lose all of our characters, it just doesn't work.
oh, the massacre at the bar? It could, but yeah, you're right. It happens so quick and then it's over.
We talk about vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
It's all about placement.
Uh,
You got to get your shit together and get everything in the right order.
like every movie made today, you're not allowed to have likable characters, and none of these characters were likable. You weren't rooting for any of them.
Don't you usually do that to kill them off, though?
Yes!
Yeah.
Have fun characters if you're going to make them live, for Christ's sake, so we can enjoy what we're watching.
Yeah.
Too many. I mean, well, I was going to say too many questions, but literally, there's so many questions at the end of this of what the hell. Like, what happened to the two dead people that we saw? Like,
Oh,
are they
also-
still dead?
None of this amounts to anything.
No.
They can't find their dad, and by the time it's over, they still can't find their dad.
I guess it's
And
just
he's dead, but his soul's
his soul's
okay.
saved now.
All right.
And the two brothers have reconnected. They were estranged, it seemed, and now
they're moving away.
away. So, yay. But again, Mom gets the short end of the stick.
What even happened to Mom?
Well, there's one line about an accident. Dad used to drink, but then after Mom was in the accident, he just really started drinking.
Okay, so we needed 10 more minutes of movie with...
No, we didn't need to.
No, we didn't. The dad starting the game.
No. Nah, they just want you to believe
There's a giant bee in here.
There's a stink bug, too.
He's behind the...
This place is falling apart.
He's beyond the gates.
In 2 weeks, when you guys shovel, we'll be recording in the kitchen.
Something just fell behind you.
Jesus Christ, it's all coming down!
But there is a giant bee over there.
The board game made no sense. I would have liked it. I mean, I did kind of like the idea of, like, some horror concept revolving around like an old VHS store, because that was some of I loved as a kid, like walking around and just looking at the box covers and all that kind of stuff. It just went nowhere.
How about if there was like a portal in like an old VHS shop that you could, like, if you had the movie with you and you jumped in it, you could get yourself in that movie.
It sounds like Page Master.
Okay.
But it would be horrific.
It would just be ripping off another kid's movie.
Well,
damn it!
I feel like this movie tried to... They just pulled from so many different sources, and instead of narrowing it down and actually making a script that made sense, they just were like, let's put this in there, let's put this in there. And it was just way too much and sloppy. But that being said... I kind of agree with John. I'd give it a 4.5. I liked it better than Replicator. And if I did watch any of them again, I would watch this over Replicator. But kind of disappointing.
Yeah, another failure on our listeners' part.
Adding to my depression, Amanda, thank you.
You're going to make Ben think about suicide here pretty soon. I thought Replicator was going to be the end of you. I thought you were going to quit. I even texted you. I'm like, are you going to quit?
Well, you know what's even... that Nightmare Alley has even the worst rating of all of them online.
I have to... If you want to get a hold of us, facebook.com/horrorcasting, horrorcastings@gmail.com. Mandy, if you want to let us know what you thought of the movie, go ahead and write in.
Yeah, please do, people. If you're going to request something, let us know what you thought of it.
Yeah. We're on Twitter. It's @horrorcasting, but nobody goes there. And I don't go there.
Friday the 13th.
YouTube, we're on there. Just look up Just Another Horror Podcast. We got old shows there. And go on iTunes and rate and review the show.
Thrill me.